The rumors are true. The young and exciting defensive-oriented Rockets went out this offseason and fixed their roster because they went from being one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league to percentage-wise the best in the business, shooting 43% from three as a team. And after getting off to a rough 0-2 start, the Rockets have won 8 of their last 9 games and have the number one offense in terms of points per game despite playing at the 28th fastest pace. Yes, this is the second slowest team in the league, and they still score more points than everybody else. And oh, by the way, at 37 years old, Kevin Durant has decided to lock in this year. And it was a bit of a slow start to the year for Kevin Durant, but now, he's got his first 10 games under his belt in the new city, in the new offense, in the new system, and he is ready to roll. Just dropped another 30-point performance last night with 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal in 35 minutes while shooting 12 of 19 from the field and 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. And it was, like I said, a pretty dominant performance. I mean, he only missed 7 shots en route to 30 points. Right here, when you're getting into this pick and roll so early, and when Steven Adams is the great screener that he is, he's almost always going to get you free. And then right here, now you're just attacking Robert Williams going downhill. Tough finish, but he gets it to go for the and one. And then now going against Chris Murray, that's great defense, just a better offense. And that's a lot of the time with Kevin Durant. You normally don't really have that much of a chance to stop him. Now we're going to get into the little zoom action here with the down screen by Adams and then another DHO screen here from Sengun, and he's going to be attacking Dope Reith coming downhill. And when you give him that much space coming off the screen, you don't have a chance to stop him because there's just too many things he can do. Now, this was a fun matchup throughout. We got to see Kevin Durant going right at Toumani Camara, one of the premier 3-and-D wings in the modern NBA. Good defense here by Camara, but once again, the theme throughout Kevin Durant's career, just better offense. Finding Okogie, brilliant 2-on-1 game here in transition. He's averaging 25 points a game, 4.6 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and 1 steal in 35 minutes, shooting 51% from the field and 43% from 3 on 4.3 attempts. And he's being asked to play make a lot less, as you can see with the 3.2 assists per game, mainly catch and shoots from beyond the arc, hitting a couple there in the second half. And then, this just the full display. Full bag of tricks on display. He's going to come off the high pick and roll, go at Donovan Clingan. And Clingan does a good job here. He's keeping enough space to where he can stay in front, but also is at arm's length. And then he falls for the pump fake, unfortunately. And it's still great defense, but once again, good D, better O, and Kevin Durant is the master at that. Coming off the screen here, getting into his step back. Denny is a little bit too late, and even with great defense, Kevin Durant is still going to get his. As for Jabari Smith Jr., being on the same team as Kevin Durant, I think, was the perfect thing to happen to him, right? Had reports coming out all offseason that he's been shadowing KD throughout, and he's raised his points per game up to 15 a night with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1.6 stocks in just 32 minutes while shooting 46% from the field and 37% from 3, which are both career highs on JSJ's young NBA career. Getting down low as well. Remember, he is 6'10", so when he gets down low, he is a problem. He finished with 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists last night. 5 fouls. If it wasn't for the fouls, he could have had 25 to 30, but was 9 of 16 from the field and 4 of 9 from beyond the arc, remaining efficient. And that's just the biggest thing that the Rockets want to see out of Jabari. They gave him $25 million a year for the next 5 years, so they want to see him become more efficient from beyond the arc. And still at 22 years old, there's a ton of room for development, and in the post-KD era, then you want him to be able to kind of take over some of that role. Now, the big star here, the franchise, is Alpren Sengun, and that has become more and more apparent this year as he continues to look more and more like Nikola Jokic, who is currently making the NBA look like a JV practice team. Now, Alpren is developed a 3-level scoring bag this year. You see the 3-ball, the mid-range there, and of course he's always had it down low. Got some great post moves, knows how to use his weight to his advantage down low, even though he's not the most athletic guy in the world. Finished 1 assist shy of a triple-double last night with 3 steals and 3 blocks, 9 of 13 shooting from the field, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. You see right here, knocking it down. He's become a legitimate weapon beyond the three-point line. Much like we saw Jokic do last year and transform his game into, now Sengun is doing the same, and he's shooting 46% from 3 on 3.5 attempts per game, through the first 11 games of the year. And that is contributing to the Rockets' #1 3-point percentage in the league. But he's averaging 22.5 points, 10 rebounds, 7.5 assists, and he's still 23 years old, and now he's pulling up from way downtown. And we talked about the post moves, but this is where he becomes so dangerous. We've been talking about the Rockets' #1 offense, and right here, the Blazers have no choice. They can't leave Reed or Jabari Smith or Kevin Durant, so the help's got to come from Jeremy Grant. There's no help baseline. He's going to spin. They finally do help baseline, leave two guys wide open from three, but at that point, Sengun is just at his spot, and you go ahead and take it out of bounds. With that being said, if you've made it this far into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. As you can see here, 93% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. If that's you, go ahead and fix that. And then let's take a look at Sheppard, who the point guard situation after one game against the OKC Thunder, the defending champs, who right now are 12-1, winning games by an average of 16 points a game, was written off. They said Reed was terrible. They said Amin was terrible. But Reed so far is averaging 12.5 points, 3.2 assists, 2.6 rebounds, shooting 48% from three on 8 attempts from beyond the arc. The dude is a legitimate sniper, and feeding off of all the gravity that Alpren Sengun and Kevin Durant attract, he's shooting fish in a barrel. 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals in 26 minutes last night. 5 of 12 from the field, 3 of 9 from beyond the arc. So even with that 3 of 9 night last night, he's still shooting 48% from beyond the arc. And it feels like every time he shoots it, it's going in because he gets such great open looks. Also developing his pick and roll game. Watch him read this right here. Nobody really steps up to take him, so nobody ever stops the ball. Good screen by Steven Adams. Therefore, he's just going to get right into this mid-range and knock down the 3 over Donovan Clingan, who is in extreme drop coverage, by the way. Then you got Thompson, who is playing pretty well so far, I'd say, this season. In his 3rd year in the league, he's put up 19 points last night with 4 boards, 2 assists, and 2 stocks in 33 minutes. Shot 6 of 17 from the field, which isn't great. 0 of 4 from 3. And there were some hopes that he was going to be able to knock down the 3 ball this year. No, his jumper is so bad he's taking floaters from the free throw line. But he's still an elite defender, an explosive athlete, one of the most explosive athletes in the league, and he's a good playmaker. Averaging almost 18 points a game with 6 assists and 5.5 rebounds with no jumper is very impressive. And if he can ever develop that jumper, it just gives him a whole nother dimension to their offense. Maybe it's just a slow start, but I'd have to doubt it here. Now, you've also got Josh Okogie, who is playing some really good basketball for the Rockets as well. Just being that glue guy, they have a ton of star power, but you always need that glue guy. And that's Josh Okogie, who right now is averaging 8.6 points, 2.3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and 1.5 steals, shooting 46% from 3 on 3.2 attempts. And don't think that, maybe they're a little bit inflated, but these aren't like massively inflated 3-point numbers. These come from the fact that this is the best offense in the league right now, and I think could be for the rest of the year, other than maybe like Denver. That's where I'm going right now for the 2 best offenses in the league, and it's because of the open looks that guys like Sengun get them. Even Aaron Holiday knocking down 3s. So Sengun, Kevin Durant, Amin Thompson setting guys up, and even Tari Eason looks like an absolute sniper right now, and you can tell he put in some work in the offseason because last season his jumper was very questionable to say the least, but he was still a great defender and a amazing athlete. But he's averaging 11.5 points a game so far this year, 5.2 rebounds, and shooting 51% from 3 on 5 attempts. Now, that one is a little bit inflated, I'd say, but, he can still easily shoot 40% from 3 on 5 attempts, and it would be a huge boost to this Rockets team. But yeah, the Rockets figured out the 3 ball. It could get scary down in Houston. We may have a problem. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. Leave me a comment down below and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. With that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.